Hello everyone, are you ready for another adventure? It's me, Wokey, and I'm here with my brother, Knux.
Hello.
And we're here for a potentially brand new series. So, on one of the most recent Tankatsugi videos where I was doing the event, I was using his Noble Phantasm, and I said that was a cool Noble Phantasm, and then it got us talking about what are the coolest Noble Phantasms in the game. So we decided we would put it to the actual test, and we will be ranking all the Noble Phantasms for every single servant that has a servant ID in the game.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, Kiposhi was talking about doing the 3-line formation.
Yeah.
And we talked about how cool the skeleton was in that NP.
That's what it was.
It wasn't exactly Tagatsuchi because you couldn't use his NP.
I couldn't use his
NP. It was
NP.
sealed.
It was sealed, yes. And then he had a big skeleton, and that was pretty cool. And so it got us thinking about the coolest NP. So this is the way we're going to structure it. So we're going to obviously put these in order. And how we're going to handle it is we're literally going to go down the servant ID list, starting from 1 until we eventually make it to 473. And by the time we get there, they will likely have added more servants. So we're going to go 10 at a time, and we're also going to start with the oldest servants, so we're starting from number 1. And since a lot of these servants that we're actually going to be mentioning, we're going to look at their oldest ones first, and when they get the actual animation update, we will decide if we want to add them to the list or replace them from the list. What are you feeling on that?
Sure.
Yeah.
I feel like we will eventually have like a re looking at the animations for these updated characters.
Yeah, I feel like that makes the most sense when we get there. So, but I want to specifically look at the old ones just because if we just put in their newest ones, one of these characters has never gotten an animation update. They will never have a chance to ever be viewed anywhere on the list highly if we base it all off of their current NP. But that's the current structure, so feel free to leave down below which one you think is the coolest of the ones we see, or which one you think, which Noble Phantasm you like in general. And we will get there eventually. We're going to start 10 at a time, and maybe go slow down a little bit once we reach the actually good-looking Noble Phantasms. But the beginning ones, they're a little rough. So we're going to start with the first one, which is MASH, which using Lord Caldeus. And this one is the 2017 version. Are you ready for this? Let me cue up the video. Alright. Are you ready for this? 2017, the game just dropped. This is the free unit that they give to everyone.
Yes.
And so I will...
This is our female protagonist.
This is our female protagonist. This is how they're going to start it off.
Well, second, if you're playing a female.
Yeah. So here we go.
Straight to the point.
Straight to the point, and that's it. It is 9 seconds long. Lord Caldeus.
Well, she has not awakened to her true NP yet, so I wasn't expecting it to be too long anyway.
No. Just a little shield up in the front, and that's just basically it. So, what are your initial thoughts? You don't have to rank it currently, because obviously if we ranked it, that's 1 of 1.
Yeah.
MASH, currently the coolest if we base it off that, but how do you feel? Shielder, new class, new everything, 2017, how you feel about it?
I think it's fine. I mean, Shielder was a class no one really knew anything about because it debuted with FGO.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, yeah, that's Shielder. She put up a shield.
Yeah. I think that originally they wanted Shielder to be a thing from Fate's Day Night, if I remember correctly. The long history of Shielder was that it was supposed to originally be in the original Fate's Day Night, and then it wasn't. Then here we are. But in terms of the class, it fits the class. It's a big-ass shield.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Let's move on. That was MASH Lord Caldeus, and that's the 2017 version. You'll also notice that a lot of these old sprites are using the old sprites, which had the big-ass head. If you don't know, originally FGO launched with big-ass chibi head characters, and eventually they replaced them all. But you'll see it in a lot of them, especially some of the older ones. So this is not the right person.
I was gonna say, did you not like put numbers on these? So
I should have put numbers on these, but because they all come out in different. This must be it. Let me see. Yes, it is. Okay. So next, who's obviously after MASH, we have Saber, 2017 Excalibur in the big head mode. Let's go in. Now, this is the actual poster child of Fate Stay Night.
This is
in
the
Fate
first
series.
NP you see when you play this game.
Yes, exactly. This woman is on the front of the app, so they have to deliver on here. So
She has not left the front of the app.
no, she still hasn't. Oh, great. We'll press play now.
Ah! What a showing for Saber.
What is showing? I just have to first of all, the sprite work on here, you can really see the kind of cheapification of Saber here.
Yeah.
Of them trying to make it like a little chibi. Doesn't really look 100% like Saber. She's tiny, but this sword animation, the lift, is maybe the greatest thing ever. It is like a 1 second.
It is a 2-frame lift.
Whoop. Whoop. 1, 2. This is what people complain about in the Invincible animated show about their animation budget not being good. It is so early. It's so jank to it. There's like barely. It's so quick. It's so funny to me. Again, this is the poster child of Fate Stay Night, and that's what they gave her in terms of a Noble Phantasm. I mean, it looks like Excalibur. I'll give them that.
It does look like Excalibur.
It does. It doesn't have the same gravitas that I would expect from Excalibur.
It's a very weak-looking Excalibur.
Yeah. A lot of it is being carried by the voice acting of Saber, who can very well yell out Excalibur. Correct. Alright, so that is Saber for the start, and now we'll go on to another Saber, which is Alter. And the video I have recorded of it is using it as an enemy versus MASH, which is funny enough, the way we go here.
Isn't this a cutscene?
I believe it is a cutscene that you see when you play the game. They said we need to make sure that the people see this. So here we go, Saber Alter from 2017. This is Excalibur Morgan. And then the MASH comes in here and she does her little thing here. I mean, I feel like Excalibur Morgan has a bit more animation frame put into it in terms of the...
Well, that's because she doesn't lift the sword.
No, I think they've... to show that she's evil and fucked up, she lifts the sword from the bottom, not from the top, like Saber does.
Yeah.
As such, it doesn't look as weirdly awkward, though there is a little bit of weirdness with the hand placement here, but I think that's just sprite work in general.
Yeah.
And the giant-ass gauntlets that she has.
True.
Yeah. It does look a little bit weird, though, the more you look at it. Like, it feels like...
her hands are morphed in a way.
Yeah, like...
Which doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it is. It's in a way that just doesn't make sense, but I think it's probably likely just the style of the time there. But okay, that is Saber Alter Excalibur Morgan. I told you, at the beginning of these, they're going to go by very quick until we get to the other ones. We'll go down to another one in the list, which is Saber Lily. Saber again, but this time a child, and she's using Caliborn. Let me see where... There it is. Oh, if I remember right, this one I liked from back in the day. So we'll look right here now. So obviously,
definitely a lot more care put into it.
I think this one is awesome in a lot of easy ways of saying it. First of all, I think the chibi style of the sprite probably works a little bit better with this version of Saber compared to her older ones, even though with the frown on, she does look almost exactly the same as regular Saber. But the thing I like, and the thing that's made this a fan favorite move in the early days, right in the dick. Right here, boom. Laser guided, focused, straight to the meat.
Straight to the golem.
Straight to the golem meat. Just hitting it perfect. It is dead center. It's amazing.
Into an explosion.
Into an explosion. The others are just so enamored saying, oh, that's fucked up, and they take damage from it. But I also like the little change at the beginning where it's all pink. I think that's very nice. It's a nice little touch,
Yeah.
but yeah. This one is an older one that I have fond memories of it just because everyone made so many jokes about the precision dick strike. I think they've even mentioned it in story, right?
I think so.
Like, I think there was a part where I want to say it was Blackbeard got hit right in the nuts by Caliburn, if I can remember correctly. Feel free to tell me if I'm wrong on that one, but I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. Now, the last of the sabers.
The Red Saber.
The Red Saber herself, Nero 2017 with Laus St. Claudius. The reason, again, if you forgot at the beginning, I'm bringing the year on because this is the original version of the NP. So, take a look at what Nero's brought to the table.
It's definitely not grandiose like it is now.
Yeah, it also
she throws rose petals to the sky and it brings the marble plane she's usually uses for this.
Yeah. Obviously the thing that's nice about this one is the fact that it changes in the background. That's still kind of nice. The other thing that probably helps this a lot isn't the animation itself. First of all, this zoom in as she comes in is also still very good. Mm-hmm. It's the Fate Extra music that plays in the background. The music change, which is
it's gonna come to a point where I'm going to need to listen to the NPs because there's a lot of NPs that are
very sound focused for sure. But you can get away with these at the beginning one. I'll say for Nero, it's one of the ones. I think this is one of the nicer ones. It's better than the 5 Excalibur for sure. Maybe it's because she's story locked. They felt the need to maybe put in a little bit more effort. Maybe. But there's like the petals flying around, the background, you know, nice of it. Even though it's a still like image of her holding the sword, aura farming, I think it still counts for something. I think that's still valid in a lot of ways. And then the little slash there is perfectly fine. A big explosion. Huge explosion. All right, let's move on to Siegfried, Balmung, 2017. So, if I remember right, there it is.
This is what killed everyone's excitement to ever pull Siegfried on the free 4-star.
Exactly, Siegfried.
Everyone used to hate this guy, and that's a lot of people don't know about that.
They did. Oh yeah, he was hated. He was, I think, for the longest time, one of the worst servants in the game until he just wasn't. They eventually buffed him enough and he found a niche that people at least liked him a little bit more. Yeah. But let's start the Noble Phantasm right now. So I feel like he got the short he got the short end of the stick of both. He got like the saber swing and the Nero standing still, but didn't get any of the cool stuff that came with them.
He didn't even get a beam.
He
got a slash.
He got a little slash, and that slash, a little bit more animation frames put into it. Like he has a couple different stances as you see him slash down, but then this like weird like cross like he's hitting him with the Baja Blast, and the skeletons are looking like some delicious Baja Blast, and then they fucking just get eviscerated into the sky. So all right, interesting Noble Phantasm. Let's move on to Kaiser or Caesar, depending on how you want to pronounce him. Here we go. Nope, accidentally started that a little bit too early. Go here, full screen, and go.
Skill reduction.
Yeah, I forgot to say the name of this thing is called Croquet Morse.
Yeah.
So, the beginning part of this really good with the Phoenix Wrights holds it's flying around his air. I think it loses a lot once he starts hitting them with the multi-slash.
Yeah.
Obviously the advanced version of this is much better, but I feel like it was doing pretty well up until the point where he just starts like Weenie Hut Jr. slashing away at the skeleton.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the beginning part of this. There's nothing wrong with that one. I also always get thrown off by his voice. Because Caesar actually has like a deep manly voice, and I keep expecting like a childlike fat man voice for some reason coming from.
No.
But that is not his voice. That is not his voice. No. Next down the list, we have Altera 2017 with the Photon Ray. There it is. I have to do a better job of naming these next time. I don't need to do that.
I don't know why you did that.
I don't know why I did that. I specifically made sure that this was the default so I could just click it. But okay, here we go. Now. Wait a minute. Hold up, because I need to hear the ending part of that. One moment. Okay. I realized what it was.
That was Lancelot screaming.
That was Lancelot. I was like going, why is the sword going?
No, that's Lancelot.
That's Lancelot. So I thought that was part of the sound effect of the Noble Phantasms, but no, it was Lancelot getting fucking eviscerated into the sky. Okay. So this is another case of the sprite work maybe not doing her the best, but also this 3D sword is a hell of a thing.
Yeah, it was probably the only 3D object on a servant.
It was. I feel like on the phone you don't super notice it, but obviously in our super blown up, you can super notice it. Mm-hmm. With its weird Powerpuff Girls lighting effect as we go on here. But in terms of everything else, I like the fast zoom in there. It's very funny. It's kind of similar to a lot of the other ones where there's not a lot of movement. There's like a little bit of like hair movement, but it's clearly just like a woo going across the screen. And then we have, next, the only unit that does not have a 2017 because he never got an animation update, Gilles de Reyes Saber with Saint War Order, which is this one right here. So here we go here. No animation update. It's funny to see all the original Sabers.
Oh no, he had an animation update.
Did he?
They just never gave it to him.
Oh yes, you're right. That is, I guess they consider that a different Gilles de Reyes Saber. Okay,
it's a different unit.
This is funny. That's hilarious. So currently he does not have this one, which is why he doesn't have an updated one. But maybe when we get to him, maybe we'll add in an additional person. But let's look at this Noble Phantasm right here.
I've seen this on the channel before.
We have it all. We're gonna play it again because it's all of its majesticness. A lot of this is him yelling Saint War Order is what's selling me on it. The like patriotic hand on his heart, like
hand on his heart, John's flag in the air.
Yeah, giant flag in the air, Saint War Order, and then he like loses defense, and then he debuffs himself.
He gives him attack, he debuffs his defense, but he gives himself crit stars.
Yeah, really a funny Noble Phantasm. Very simple and clean though. Very simple and clean. And now we get to the last one for today. Chevalier d'Eon with Fleur de Lis 2017. You speak French. How do you actually say that?
Fleur de Lis.
Fleur de Lis? Okay, there we go. Would be hilarious if I did not have it. But I know it's here somewhere. Siegfried.
It's right there.
Walter, there it is. Okay.
Okay, Dion.
And now. And they all take some damage from that, and then they're gone.
One of the weirder ones because this is one of the first weird, like, debuff NPs.
Yeah, this is one of the NPs that doesn't really do damage, so they eventually would kind of figure this out, but a lot of the early day, like, we hit you with something so you to take debuffs look kind of weird. Like, for this one, he just puts up his giant insignia, and then they take damage, and they go, oh no,
Or we don't want to fight.
We don't want to fight. It's very sad. But okay. That's the last of the Noble Phantasms. So, how are we feeling about this top 10? Who was actually legitimately the worst on here? I feel...
Siegfried?
Siegfried? Yeah, it's Siegfried. All right, so we're gonna put down Siegfried 2017 Balmung as the worst currently. So he's number 10. He's also in the top 10. So he's also the 10th best currently.
Yes.
Noble Phantasms that we got. All right. Who's just above him then?
Who's above Siegfried?
Yeah, who's above Siegfried?
I feel like it's either Gilles de Reyes or Dion.
I think that's probably true. Both of them kind of have similar feels. I feel like Dion's is definitely more janky compared to Gilles de Reyes. So I feel like 9th for Dion, 8th for Gilles de Reyes. How does that make sense?
Okay.
All right, we'll go there. All right, then what's just above them? I feel like this is where Saber Excalibur comes in.
Yes.
I feel like she's not worse than Gilles de Reyes or Dion or Siegfried, but she's definitely bottom compared to a lot of the other ones here.
Yeah.
So I think... But here's the other question. Is hers worse than Mash's? I feel like the answer is yes. Because, again, that little frame animation of her lifting the sword and barely any animation goes into it, I think definitely puts her down here.
Yeah.
All right.
It's also that they mess up her beam.
Yeah,
That's the one thing I don't like. The reason I don't like Siegfried's a lot back in the day is just because there's no impact.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like a heavy Excalibur, for sure. You're right about that. Next, we move on. Who's above them? Is it Saber Alter, or is it maybe Mash? What do you feel?
I'm feeling Mash here, to be honest.
Feeling Mash? I feel like Mash's is very serviceable. You know what I mean? It's like, this is okay for a free unit that you just get. There's not like a lot of...
And I put Caesar.
Yeah, so let me go here. Go here. And then kind of after that, Caesar. Yeah, I think the Caesar doesn't deliver on the actual impact of it. He delivers at the beginning of it. That's really good. But then the end of it kind of tapers off for me. Then who's above Caesar? Is it Altera?
Yeah.
But wait, is Caesar's better than Saber Alter?
No.
So you think Saber Alter's is better than Altera and Nero's?
Well, we haven't rated Nero yet.
Okay, we'll start with Altera. So Altera, for sure, we're saying is better than Caesar.
Yeah.
Is Altera's better than Nero?
I feel like Altera is better than Saber Alter.
So Saber Alter would then go down below Altera then.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's probably fair. I think there's something, at least I feel more impact. It might have just been because we saw Lancelot get smoked and scream it. Like, it was so loud that you're not listening to it and you heard the screams.
Yeah.
So Saber Alter above Caesar, not above Altera. Altera not above Nero. And it's down to Saber Lily and Nero. So I think my gut tells me Saber Lily's is better because I like the little background change in the beginning. It has a nice little impact blast of the thing going off. And most importantly, it does hit him in the dick, which is very funny. So when I see it, I feel happy.
It is very funny. The only thing that I'm pushing for is that Nero's entire theme is there and present, along with the field change.
You're right. That is a full-on field change compared to the... okay, you know what? I think you're right on that one. I think you convinced me with the whole package of it was definitely a big thing. And also, Saber Lily was free for anyone who logged in.
Yeah.
If you weren't there at the beginning days of it, Saber Lily was not an event unit.
It felt like Nero was a true commodity back in FGO's days. And she still is, to be fair.
To be fair, hey, we're about to get a brand new Nero. Everyone's waiting in anticipation. But you're right. If you do think about it, the Nero glazing started from the launch. She had her own singularity in which she was alive during the entirety of it, went fist to fist with actual servants.
Nobody like talks about Septem for many reasons. That's just Nero
Yes.
From the era Nero was in.
Straight up Emperor Nero throwing hands alive
With
them.
servants.
With servants. Her Noble Phantasm, I think, is better than the 2 Saber 5 stars. For sure. 100%. More effort put into it. And it might just be... We might get this too, because I think Emiya gets his theme as well when he enters his Reality Marble.
Yeah.
A limited blade works. I guess we'll find out.
We're going to get into Emiya because...
next is Archers. Those are the next.
Archers.
The next. But yeah. I feel confident in this list to go for. But yeah, Nero, they could tell definitely like, hey, we're not going to push it compared to Saber. Even though Saber has like 3 different forms in here. They did not spend the amount of time on her NP compared to Nero.
Well, the thing is in Nero 2 is that Nero was getting a new game.
At the time?
Fate Extella.
Oh, you guess you're right. You have to remember, it is 2017, so I guess that is true. Really interesting to think about in that case. But anyway, I feel like we're pretty confident in the beginning list here. So the top 10 current Noble Phantasms that we got are... At number 10, Siegfried, Dion. At number 9, Gilles de Reyes Saber. At number 8, Saber with the Excalibur. At number 7, Mash at 6, Caesar at 5, Saber Alter at 4th, Altera at 3rd, Saber Lily on 2nd, and number 1 currently is Nero. So... That's the video for today. We'll be back next week with another. I'll try and get these out at least once every Sunday until the end of time.
until we catch up.
Till we catch up, and then once we catch up, I guess we wait for there to be 10 more again. And we'll see. Again, I expect these to go much longer when the Noble Phantasms actually start to look good. But at the early days, they're kind of like, oh yeah, just kind of like a nostalgic trip back to the old times, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the end of the video, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Say goodbye, boy.
Goodbye.
And peace out. Bye.